Good day, everyone. I'm Raquel Vitoria. Today, I will be your tour guide to a very special place where I was born and raised. I will give you a little ride and idea. Our pride, our home, the Iloilo city where I belong. Now, I will introduce to you a brief history of Iloilo City. Iloilo takes its name from the Irong-Irong, the old name of the city of Iloilo, a tongue of land that sticks out like a nose on the south of Iloilo River. The Maragtas legend tells the story of Iloilo way back in the 13th century, when Dato Puti and his fellow Datos fled from the tyranny of Sultan Makatunao of Borneo and landed at the mouth of the Siwaragan River, now known as the town of San Joaquin, and eventually they settled there. At that time, people called the Atis, who were ruled by King Marikudo and King Maniwang-Tiwang, inhabited Panay. King Marikudo bartered the lowlands of Panay Islands for a golden hat or saduk and a long gold necklace, manangyad, and other assorted gifts to the Bornean datos. The latter then took complete control of the island, with the Atis retiring to the mountains. It was Dato Paiburong who was assigned in Irong-Irong. Panay Island was ruled under the Code of Kalanchao, where peace and prosperity reigned for 300 years, but this was disrupted when the Spaniards came and established a provincial government. As early as 1855, Iloilo opened to the world of trade and became the biggest port in the Philippines and premier province of the country because of various economic activities. Municipio de Iloilo became a city under the Bacora Law in 1833. Because it progressed steadily, the Commonwealth Act No. 158 incorporated the surrounding towns to form Iloilo City and was finally inaugurated on August 25, 1937, and was dubbed as the Queen City of the South. General Martin Delgado became the first governor of the province of Iloilo. In 1986, a royal decree from Spain declared the place La Muy Leal y Noble Ciudad de Iloilo, which means the most loyal and noble city of Iloilo, cementing the Spanish monarchy's favor and deep affection. A more modern take on Iloilo's capital is the City of Love. And now I will take you to a very unwinding place with full of adventure. Traveling to Iloilo City and explore its many historical, cultural landmarks and natural wonders. When you look at the map, you will see that this beautiful province is located in the middle of the Philippines because of its location and rich cultural heritage. Iloilo is given the nickname the Heart of the Philippines and is one of the top Visayas tourist spots. Iloilo is famous of the old churches, but I will introduce to you one of the famous tourist spots, the Green Farm in San Joaquin. Green Farm is another well-photographed Iloilo tourist spot. It's an inland resort that uniquely combines recreational, religion, and agriculture. The place is actually a functional farm that showcases agriculture practices and houses various livestock and crops. Their produce are sold on site, served in their restaurant, and supplied to different buyers. A walk around the farm will let you experience the world of farming in real life. More than its agricultural features, Green Farm also boasts of its recreational facilities and activities such as zip line, swimming pool, buggy car, kayaking, fishing, and whatnot. But the highlight of the place is the Pilgrimage Hill with 456 stairs that features 9 major biblical scenes, including the Nativity or the birth of Jesus, baptism of Christ, the Last Supper, and the agony in the garden, among others. The stair steps end at the peak that creates the usual notion of what heaven looks like. The summit is a great place to reflect and pray. At the summit, you'll find the entrance to the Divine Mercy Dark Meditation Tunnel that leads to what is probably the most photographed part of the Green Farm in a day trip in Iloilo, the so-called heaven on earth. To get to this replica of heaven, one must pass a dark tunnel until you reach the all-white end. Don't forget to wear your shades, especially at noon and broad daylight, as the experience can be hurtful to the eyes. The dark tunnel symbolizes one challenges while on earth, and the all-white end blindingly bright heaven on earth, so represents a person ascent to heaven after cleansing. There is no perfect word to describe it but heaven, and it feels light when you're there, standing in and walking to this magnificent work of art. Going to this place is a combination of a journey and realization. It is a perfect place for a quick meditation and looking back to what we have, what we are, and we realize how we blessed are we to experience life and His blessings. We recommend you and everyone to visit this place and witness and experience it yourselves. The place is not just beautiful but rejuvenating. Now, what is the famous food in Iloilo? I know that when I say Iloilo, you will exactly know that it's very famous for La Paz Bachoy. Iloilo is well known for their bachoy, a kind of noodle soup whose history can be traced back to the humble stalls of the La Paz market, thus the name La Paz Bachoy. It is one of the Iloilo best-known signature dishes and a must-try delicacy, served in restaurants all over Iloilo City. Served piping hot, this local delicacy has warmed the tummies of Ilonggos since time immemorial. In 1938, Federico Galargan was known to invent La Paz Bachoy at La Paz Market. They actually are neighbors. As time passes by, it keeps on evolving until it reaches its present form, which popularized Iloilo City's most popular famous dishes. Federico Galargan Jr., which is the son of the inventor of bachoy, says that his father first called his dish bats. His father then added choy, which came from the vegetable dish chop soy. La Paz Bachoy is considered one of the most iconic dishes in Iloilo and the whole country. Bachoy is a well-known noodle soup made up of pork entrails such as liver, kidney, intestines, and lungs with the addition of crushed pork cracklings or chicharron, shrimp, chicken stock, vegetables, and round noodles. Some uses pork and some prefer using beef instead. Anyone who has sampled the authentic dish will never forget the distinct sweet and salty taste of its soup, as well as the fluffiness and texture of its noodles. It is so aromatic that when your olfactory gland catches its spice whiff, you couldn't help yourself but to drool and helplessly devour the dish in no time. It is best eaten at the bachoy stalls in the La Paz market where it originated. And to our main event of the year, I am proudly present to you our Dinagyang Festival. The Dinagyang Festival is a religious and cultural festival in Iloilo City, held annually on the fourth Sunday of January or right after the Sinulog in Cebu and the Ati-Atihan Festival in Kalibo, Aklan. Dinagyang is one of the biggest and world-class festivals in the Philippines, attracting more than 1 million domestic and international visitors every year. The word Dinagyang came from the Hiligaynon word extrapolated from the gyang meaning merry-making. The festival hosts a celebration of the Santo Niño or Holy Child or Infant Jesus, and the pact between the datos and the locals after the arrival of Malay settlers and the legendary barter of Panay Islands from the native called Ati. Dinagyang began after Reverend Father Ambrosio Galindez from the first Filipino rector of the Augustinian community and parish priest of the San Jose Parish introduced the devotion of Santo Niño in November 1967. After observing the Ati-Atihan Festival in the province of Aklan, on 1968, a replica of the original image of Santo Niño de Cebu was brought to Iloilo by Father Sulpicio Inderes. In the beginning, the observance of the feast was confined to the parish. Part of the festival, which is the Ati-Ati tribe competition, consists of a number of warriors or dancers in a tribe or locally called tribo, dancing in a choreographed formation and patterns as well as chanting to the sound of loud drum beats and improvised percussion instruments innovated by the respective tribes. In the early years, a number of tribes were created, founded and organized by some of the barangay or communities around the city until through the years. Halabira, a Hiligaynon phrase that means dispense all means, is a popular catchphrase among Ilonggos to show enthusiastic involvement in the Dinagyang. During the celebration, the phrase is always heard attributed to the festival theme song Halabira Iloilo, played on every street in Iloilo City. And we have now what we call Dagoy. Dagoy is the official festival mascot of Dinagyang. He was born from the promotional sketches of Dinagyang in 2002. The caricature was later adopted as the official logo of the festival. Depicted as a young Ate warrior, the Goy symbolizes the jollification and friendship of the Ilonggo and the other thousands to millions of tourists flock to witness the festival. Halabera Iloilo. If you're planning your trip in the near future, you can try to visit the City of Love, the heart of every Ilonggos and the heart of the Philippines, the Iloilo City. Thank you.